Hello, it's Sean and welcome to Sensory Atelier at home. Again, I'm at home and we're going to be exploring something a little bit different today. We're going to be looking at the idea of exploring light. We're going to be looking at big shadows all the way to small shadows and how light can dance and change your surroundings. And also it's about looking at different types of materials. And a great thing about this is about materials that you can find all around your house and outside if you've got a garden. What we're going to do today is we're going to make a little light box. Now, I've got some small little Tupperware that I'm going to use, just a little plastic box that you can kind of get food in and you store food in. But you can also use, if you've got any, the really, really big storage boxes. As long as it's clear plastic and it's not coloured, then you can use it for anything. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the ingredients that we're going to use today. So for exploring light, we're going to make some light boxes. And you can see that we've got a blanket, Tupperware or plastic storage box, fairy lights, a torch, or even a light that you might have on your phone, tracing paper or greaseproof paper that you might cook with, and lots of different types of objects. I'm in a slightly darker room upstairs, but it's really, really good if you can go somewhere where you can black out all of the light. Or, and why we've got a blanket, is if you can't get somewhere really, really dark, you could just hide under a blanket, like that. Right, the ingredients. We've got some fairy lights. You might have some from Christmas. These are LED, so these are quite good because you don't have to plug them in. But if you've got fairy lights that you have to plug in, don't worry, it's absolutely fine because you can let them just pop out of the box. We've got Tupperware. I'm using really small ones. Again, if you've got one of those massive storage boxes, then you can make a gigantic light box. So I've got a little one like that. Now, this is optional. So if you haven't got any greaseproof paper or tracing paper, it's not the end of the world. The only reason we use it is because it makes the light kind of layer out really, really nicely. And also it's got a really nice kind of frosted cover. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your storage box. You can get your lights. I've only got little ones. That's okay. I'm going to switch them on like that. Love it. I've got a bit of tracing paper. If you want, you can cut it to the right size of your lid and stick it on with sellotape. But if you don't have any sellotape, as long as you've got a longish bit, what you can do is you can place it over the top of your Tupperware box or your soon-to-be light box and just place the lid on, just like that. And straight away, you can see it starts to light up and glow. The difference being, if you don't have some tracing paper, greaseproof paper, just means that you can see the lights look a bit clearly. So let's pop those back on, just because I've got some, so I might as well use them. There we go, just like that. And then it's about thinking all of the different types of materials, and it's about experimenting as well. So I went outside and got a rock, I'll place like that. We've got some random little toys that I borrowed from my daughter's bedroom. We've got this all kind of coloured cellophane, a bit like sweet wrappers. So if you've got any sweet wrappers knocking around, I've always got sweet wrappers knocking around. Some purples and blues and pinks. Got some different coloured acetates. It's also good sometimes when you have packaging or old boxes or old magazines. And great, you know, old toy packaging as well, like kind of plastic feel. Sometimes that comes in colour, so it's really, really useful. I found some felt and some green. I also went outside because it was quite sunny outside, and I found a leaf. It was quite nice from the hedgerow. I found some flowers. Lots of different types there. Some really delicate little leaves as well. I also found a couple of unicorns. Always handy to have a couple of unicorns. And I've got some of my little son's Quinnies. Oh, his little toy building blocks. They're really useful and they've got really, really good colours. So do have a proper explore around your house. I even found an empty shell for a snail. And what exploring and experimenting with light is about that kind of idea that you can use anything and just see what amazing things can happen. Now, trusty food colouring, which I always have a lot of, is really good as well. And later on, we'll have a bit of a look at what happens when you add food colouring to liquid. So we've got some little glasses of water. We're going to add some colours to them in a bit. But one thing that we do need, if it's very, very light, is to switch the lights off. So I've changed the water over. We're going to go for some orange. We can go for some yellow. I always have yellow because I absolutely love yellow. And then we give it a little bit of a shake. And let's see what happens when we lift it up like that. Look at those colours. It's like having sunshine in your room. I wonder what happens if we mix the colours. So if we pour some yellow and blue. Okay, let's do a bit of a pour. What colours do you think we'll be ending up making? That beautiful, beautiful green. And that's a great thing about food colouring. It's a bit like having paint. You can change all of your colours. Look at the light dancing on it. So what other colours have we got? If I move this green away, and I bring back my little bit of a red, and we've got a little bit of the yellow still. What happens if I pour the red into the yellow? I think we're going to make some magic. There we go. We'll give it a little bit of a stir and a splash. And what happens if I add a bit more yellow? Because I've got the colours in here. Let's add some more and give it a little stir. And when you've got it on the light box, you can just see all the different shades and colours, which you wouldn't be able to see if you were in the light. So remember, the great thing about light boxes is anything works. And even little details. I've got some lavender here. It smells beautiful. You can really see all the lovely light shining from underneath. We've got a feather. We've got a snail. We've got the makings of a brilliant story here. And if you have a look at all the different types of materials, you can see that you can really choose anything you want. And it changes how it looks and it changes how it feels when you dim the lights. Now, if you want to do something else, you can get your blanket. And if you've got a torch or you've got your phone, the phone might have a torch on it, you can get your blanket over the top of you and get really snug and really, really cosy and really experiment with all the different colours that you can see. So remember, it's really easy to make your own light box. And this is just a small one. Imagine what it would be like if it was a gigantic one. Or imagine making lots and lots of different types of light boxes. Each one has a different object or a different colour. Maybe you could have ones that just look at red, or maybe ones that just look at green. It's all about exploring light and exploring about what you can do, and what you can make, and what you can discover.